Shaffer is coming, and she'll talk about the FCCLA. And so I have no idea what that is, so I'm going to have to let them tell us about it, okay?
Like he said, and we did have a little technical problems because we had a beautiful presentation, but it's okay, we'll just go on with it. This is Mina Shaffer, and before we introduce what FCCLA is, I'm going to tell you a little about how it's connected to what I teach. So I teach family consumer sciences. For those of you who like to use the dirty word, it is home ec. It is changed in 1997, they did a name change to reflect the changing in times, because it's no longer just cooking and cleaning. A lot of it is business management, leadership skills. You know, I teach them how to fill out an application, do taxes, look for cars, talk about interest. I teach child development. Well, I taught, last year was my last year for child development. But you know, so many interpersonal studies, we talk about relationships, healthy ones, bad ones, what to do if you're caught in a bad one. You know, stress, how to reduce stress. We even made our own little stress balls, so that anytime they were feeling upset or anything in class, and you would see it during the test, that they come out really quick and they play with them. So it really helps them in their everyday life. So it is more than just cooking and cleaning now. And then Harmony has transitioned from what I had as human services pathway, where I taught a little bit of everything, to now just culinary. So that when the students graduate, they're able to graduate with a certification as a food handler manager. In the past, I always tell my students, you never know when you're going to need these. And they would say, no, I'm never going to do foods. Yesterday, I got a call from a student, and she needs it so she could get a pay raise, because she applied for a job, and they said, well, if you already have it, we don't have to spend the time and the money teaching you. And so she came and got another copy of her certification, took it up there, and it was worth $2.50 more. So I mean, that, for a high school kid, that's a good little bit of money. Let's see, we have, okay, so we talked about those. FCCLA is an organization within family consumer sciences. As a family consumer science teacher, I can be part of a couple different CTSOs. One is education and training, which is TAFE. We are not doing the education and training pathway. It's a little impractical for how far out we are, because they would have to get practicum hours that just wouldn't be feasible. We have HEAT, which is starting to dissipate, which was a culinary competition and group. They're supposed to be coming up with a new one called CAT, which is along those lines. And then there's FCCLA. FCCLA encompasses all of the 74 different subjects I can teach. It goes from child development through time management, event management, and it also teaches amazing leadership skills. Mina has been with me for 4 years. She's been a chapter officer for 4 years and a Region 3 region officer for 4 years. And 2 years, I'm sorry. And she is a senior, so I am losing her and 7 other senior officers this year. So I've got to start recruiting more. But I'm going to turn it over to Mina. She's going to explain what FCCLA is and what it does for the community.
Hi, my name is Mina Shaffer, and as you guys just heard, I've been an officer in FCCLA, my local chapter, for 4 years, and a region officer for the past 2 years. Currently, I am the Region 3 Vice President of Competitive Events, and so I help to plan all of the competitive events that we do. We have over 100 competitive events, and I help manage those, run them, and we have to build rubrics and discuss changes that we are going to make to those at our camp, and we did make some changes which we will get to later. So first, we're going to start with different scholarships that we offer. We've aimed over $1.4 million last year in scholarships through all of FCCLA. And this year in Texas, we're hoping to hit, $75,000 in just Texas. So that's our goal this year. So we have the Active Alumni Scholarship that our chapter has personally won. It's a former chapter officer and member that is still active in FCCLA that judges at the region and state conferences, which we need a lot of volunteers. So if people want to help out, that would be appreciated. We've also, our chapter has also personally gotten the Go Red Scholarship, which is an outstanding FCCLA member that gets $1,000 for college. And so these are, now we're moving on to professions. So former members and officers learn leadership skills while in FCS classes, and Tammy Porter, has former students who are DHS CPS investigators, teachers, business owners working with culinary and public sales, military who've received higher ranks and pay from the certifications that they earn, and those are just a few of them. I'm going to be one of them next year. So, real quick, we're going to do a quick full skirt here. You guys are, how many of y'all know anything about FCCLA? Just one?
Just Miss Duke.
Anybody else? Well, since nobody knows anything, we're going to teach y'all some FCCLA basics. So, FCCLA stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. It's a career and technical student organization that functions as an integral part of the family and consumer science education curriculum and operates within the school system. FCCLA offers members the opportunity to expand their leadership potential and develop skills for life: planning, goal setting, problem solving, decision making, and interpersonal communication, all necessary within the home and workplace. The official colors, because I know this was a question last year, the official FCCLA colors are red, specifically PMS 185C, and white, PMS 000C. Red suggests strength, courage, and determination, and personal qualities leading to happiness through a positive self-image. White symbolizes sincerity of purpose and integrity of action, qualities that will help individuals to build a better tomorrow. So now we're moving on to our FCCLA theme. So every year the state of Texas has its own separate theme from the nationals theme, and this year it took 7 long, strenuous hours using parliamentary procedure, but we finally came to our theme this year, which is Uncover the Possibilities. It was decided, again, after hours of debate, and it wasn't even on our suggested themes list. So, and for myself, this year's theme allows me to show how FCCLA helped me to uncover my love for FCS education and the leadership skills I'm going to use for the rest of my life. So in our personal chapter, we're going to talk about things that we competed in last year and how highly we ranked. So this is our region results. So 80% of our participants advanced to the state level. We had 5th in event management. The top 5 in competitions goes to state, and that was our very first year competing in event management. We had 4th in job interview. Again, also our first time competing in that event. We got 2nd in Toys That Teach, which is a Texas-specific event, so you can only advance to state in that event, but we did. And we also got a gold medal in FCSA Creed Mission Purpose, which is a really long test. We walked away with my position, Region 3, VP of Competitive Events, and we had around 1,500 people in attendance at our region conference in Waco. So now we're moving on to state. We had 4 gold FCSAs in Creed Mission Purpose and Child Development. We took 4th place in Toys That Teach, so we're close, but not there just yet. We did 7th in job interview and 6th in event management. These events only have 25 entries through all of the state of Texas. And we have over 24,000 members last year in the state of Texas alone. So only the top 2 advanced to state, nationals. We didn't get to bring any of our chapter members with us this year, but we're going to make sure that they come to Seattle with us this year. There were 3,400 people in attendance at the state conference. And now we're on to nationals. So I had never attended nationals before until this past summer with my advisor. It was just us 2 because nobody was able to advance with us. That's okay. So both Miss B and I attended the national conference, which was in Denver, Colorado, this past July. And we had the opportunity to serve as judges for the repurpose and redesign level 1 and level 3. This was an amazing opportunity to broaden our knowledge of this event, which I can use as the competitive event officer, and we can use to help our students who want to compete in the repurpose and redesign. And we also had the opportunity to attend many classes and leadership workshops, and there was approximately 8,000 people in the state of Texas who went. We took 1/10 of the entire delegation who was at the Nationals Conference. So, state of Texas is big. I also had the pleasure to help one of these speakers at the National Conference, so I was up on stage helping him out. That was kind of fun. So I have a lot of duties before and during the region and state conference. I'm only going to read y'all like 3 or 4 of them because it's a lot. So I have to find volunteers for lead consultant and evaluators to judge our competitions. So if anybody wants to help out, I'll give you all my email. I have to keep in correspondence with my region advisor every single week to make sure that we hit all of our goals and find enough volunteers. And I also have to write an entire recognition script for our competitive events. And that is a lot. And I'm writing it by myself. So that's a lot. And that's just before. This is going to be like, this is so I have to help the FCCLA staff, and I have to be in an office all day long, again, for 4 days. And I'm going to be running around with my head's cut off. Well, and an analogy there, sorry. I'm going to be running around for 4 days in heels, crazy. Running back and forth, trying to make sure everybody's in their places and, what's going on with our competitions. She has to stay in the office all day, every day. She doesn't even get to leave. So I feel worse for her. We also have to recognize all of our competitors who made top 5 or gold medals. So I have to go and hand pack every single one of those for all of our over 100 events. So in different levels. So we have 3 levels for each event. So I have to pack every single one of those. That's going to take a long time. So now we're going to move on to just our personal chapter, the Harmony ISD chapter. So this year already, we have hosted the Fall Leadership Workshop in Chandler United Methodist Family Center with 240 FCCLA members in attendance. We gained 4 brand new FCCLA chapters in just our region, and thankfully they attended my Fall Leadership because they got some information on how to be a first-year advisor. And then our school had 27 members attend. That was 100% of our chapter. And we have lots of community service activities that we've already done or are doing in just November, December. So we have our buddy walk, which is actually this Saturday. We have a nursing home carnival that we run on the 31st, as well as trunk or treat, also on the 31st. We have our Region 3 Service Learning Project, so everyone in our school donates a children's book for the children who are unfortunate enough to not have books, but we're going to change that. We are also partnering with our special education class for their activities, like their proms and their Special Olympics and everything. And we are also doing Christmas Angel, and that's just these 2 months. We haven't even come up with the rest of our stuff yet. And we also are doing a Teens in the Driver's Seat. This is brand new to Harmony, and we've never done this before. But it is to raise awareness for reckless teen drivers and, you know, teach them to not be reckless while driving. We just did our first level, and we gained, like, moving on through the levels, we are currently fundraising for our chapter. We did we got $200 for moving past the first level, which was taking surveys, and we're moving on to, I think it's a game night. We're doing a game night next, so that's gonna be fun. And finally, I know some people have been waiting for this. So this summer in Denver, Colorado, after 4 years of being my favorite advisor, I decided to make my decision on college. I'm going to attend SFA in Nacogdoches and follow in my favorite person's footsteps and get my degree in FCS education. So I said yes to FCS. That's it. So does anybody have any questions? I know that bounced around a lot.
Let me hear that name again, that new name with all those words in it.
Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America.
Family, career, what?
Community
Community.
Leaders of America.
Basically, when just you're a human being, you want to take care of your family first, your career, your community, and then that way you can be a leader for America. So it's the easiest way to remember it, because we get people that butcher it all the time.
What schools in this area?
Are part of FCCLA.
Yeah.
There is Harmony, Big Sandy, Gilmer.
Not Big Sandy, Big Sandy.
Oh, sorry, not Big Sandy. Longview, Pine Tree,
Bladewater,
Bladewater, Winsboro, Sulphur Springs. I know they have a chapter.
Alba Golden just got in.
Alba
Just
Golden,
joined.
first year. All of the Dallas schools. Well, that's pretty much all I can name off the top of my head. I can pull up a list, but that would take a little bit.
Now, I think one of you mentioned a little descriptive words about changing the name of it from home ec.
Mhm.
And what was that description?
Family Consumer Sciences.
Family Consumer Science. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mina, will some of your responsibilities roll over into your freshman year in college, or?
And no, after nationals, then that is the end for me. I'll be out.
But not far, so it'll be okay.
Not for long. I'll be back in 4 years. Any other questions?